The Roman Empire and its citizens were very religious. They worshipped both the gods of the empire, believed to have founded it, and individual or family idol gods. But in no way was Rome a Christian state. Rome's province in Africa's northwest, in spite of its incompleteness of Romanization at the time, was second only to Italy as the most devoted to Roman culture among all Latin lands in terms of literature, customs, and educational systems. This was particularly true in the city of Carthage. Carthage's society was a mixture of native Phoenician-speaking Berbers, Phoenicians, unromanized African Berbers, and Berber-speaking Africans who gradually became Romanized. To the latter, good relations with Rome and the rest of the empire were of great importance. But also, in Carthage and its outlying districts, there was a significant Berber lower class who viewed Rome and everything connected with it as foreign and oppressive. West of Carthage were the Berber farmers of Numidia and Mauritania. Lower-class Carthaginians and the farmers to the west did not hesitate to remind the newly converted Romanized classes that, when you all were still worshipping pagan gods, we, supposedly ignorant Numidians and Mauritanians, knew the truth about Jesus. But just as the descendants of African slaves here in America took advantage of American freedoms and institutions to advance into the highest ranks in the nation, unburdened with chores to satisfy basic human needs 24/7, these Africans in Rome's province of Africa seized opportunities to blossom into the self that God created them to be. Also, similar to America, during this time in Northwest Africa, two major classes of Berbers existed, Romanized and unromanized. Romanized Berbers, particularly in Carthage and Numidia. Participating in the mainstream culture, they had direct access to the empire's infrastructural resources, such as roads, housing, marketplace, education, monetary, defense, civil laws, etc., in their region. Also, Christians among the Romanized Berbers used these resources as well, to exercise their own individuality, divine perspective, intellectual capacity, aptitude, and insights for the sake of the gospel. The unromanized Berbers. Numidia and Mauritania were agricultural areas west of Carthage. A great deal of their time was spent planting, caring, harvesting, and exporting produce to Italy through Carthage. They experienced the heavy hand of Rome. However, being much less Romanized than Carthage, they retained their ancestral language and customs. Unlike the staunch Romanized class of Berbers, who had become landowners, merchants, and military officers, these unromanized Berbers did not reap the benefits of trade and contacts with Italy, but instead were relegated to farming the land. A great number of them were Christians. Though these two classes of Berbers coexisted during this time period, both soon found themselves lumped into the same category. 284 AD brought a new and treacherous emperor to rule the empire. He was determined to reform it politically, geographically, and religiously. His reforms included removing Christians from high offices throughout the empire, viciously putting an end to Christian worship in Africa, and incentivizing betrayal among Christians. Details about how African men, women, girls, and boys fared during this period can be found by clicking the link to the 6th of 11 videos, as well as in the book Surveying Christianity's African Roots in the description below.